Hey guys, so welcome back. If you're new to my channel or simply not yet subscribed, I'm Brittany. This is Luna. It's Freya. And definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. Liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff really helps and I really appreciate it. Real quick before I dive in, the sweatshirt that I'm wearing, you can actually purchase on my Etsy shop. I always do free shipping. Make sure to go and grab one. They're really soft and really comfortable. And let's dive in. So Aurora is a small town in Texas with a population of about 1,700. It's located about 20 miles northwest of Dallas. But there is something that could be lying in this town like no other. An alien body. Roswell is probably the most known alien UFO crash / cover-up that there is. This happened 50 years before the Roswell crash. Between the years of 1896 and 1897, there were dozens of strange cigar-shaped airships that were seen and reported across the country. Sightings began in California and headed east. But on April 17, 1897, there was a crash. An article in the Dallas Morning News recanted a witness's report of the crash, which stated early risers of Aurora were astonished at the sudden appearance of the airship that had been sailing across the country. Evidently, some machinery was out of order, for it was making a speed of only 10 or 12 miles an hour and gradually setting towards Earth. It sailed over the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, it collided with a Judge Porter's windmill and went to pieces with a terrific explosion, scattering debris over several acres of ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank, and destroying the judge's flower garden. I love how it included his flower garden. While the remains are badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world. They also stated that the airship had been made of an unknown metal, somewhere between silver and aluminum, and weighing several tons. People were eager to see the crash, like, wouldn't you be? And the remains of the pilot. Like, they were saying that, he wasn't of this world, so who doesn't want to see an alien? I mean, Jeff doesn't want to see an alien, so maybe not everybody wants to see an alien, but I feel like most people would, jump at the chance. The pilot died because of his wounds, and a Christian burial was actually held the following day. Townspeople named the alien Ned, and he became known as Ned the Alien. Researchers and scientists have tried to get permission to exhume his body and do an examination of his body to prove, he is an alien, to prove that, just get more research, but they get denied every time. That the grave can only be exhumed by next of kin, and if Ned is actually from a different world, then that happening is pretty unlikely. Oddly enough, there were also papers found on the pilot's body in a strange form of hieroglyphs writing on them. Not like hieroglyphs as in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, these were unknown hieroglyphs. I'm not really sure if those papers got buried with Ned or if they were kept separate from the body. And the area near the crash site is now dubbed as Area 114. When a local liaison officer who had knowledge of astronomy had heard of the creature, believed that the pilot could have been from Mars. Back in the 18th century, Mars was studied by a lot of astronomers. I mean, it's still getting studied to this day. But some of these astronomers even believed that it had seasons. I mean, we know that Mars is the closest, Earth planet. And it's even believed that now they believe that Mars could have been like Earth, could have looked like Earth at one point. Italian astronomer Giovanni Schiaparelli discovered that there were canals on the surface of Mars through the use of his telescope. He believed that these canals could be a sign of extraterrestrial beings. In 1973, there was a reporter by the name of Jim Mars who interviewed 83-year-old Charlie C. Stevens. At first, Charlie didn't want to get involved. Even today, when people are like, I saw a UFO or I saw an alien, people kind of raise an eyebrow. Like, did you? Did you really? And it's much more accepted today than it was back then. I can understand the apprehension behind him not really wanting to come forward to put his name out there. Like, you're 83, what do you have to lose? Right? Charlie was only 10 at the time of the Aurora crash. On that morning, he was working with cattle with his father when the cigar-shaped craft flew overhead towards Aurora. It had a bright light, and they watched it as it went until they heard a crash. Charlie instantly wanted to go and look at the crash, but his dad was like, nope, we gotta finish our chores. So they went the following day to see the debris. So he did actually see the debris. That same year in 1973, Jim Mars actually went to Ned's gravesite. The grave had a natural rock headstone that showed the design on one end, a saucer-shaped structure that had small circles. The grave was small. This grave was meant for a very small individual. So a small extraterrestrial, a small human, or a child. Journalist Bill Case went and used a metal detector over the grave. And he thought that there were at least 3 large pieces of metal in the grave. But when he went back and used the metal detector again, it showed no signs of metal. However, there was a metal pipe sticking out of the grave. So he believed that somebody actually went and took those metal pieces out. In the 1970s, the grave marker was stolen, and the exact location of the pilot was lost. But in recent years, through the use of ground-penetrating radar, there was a discovered unmarked grave where they believe is the burial place of the pilot. Also, an official plaque outside of the cemetery that says that the cemetery may contain the grave of a pilot of a spaceship that crashed nearby on April 17th, 1897. So what do you guys believe? Have you been to Aurora and seen Ned's grave? Do you think that there's actually an extraterrestrial body buried in Aurora, Texas? I've said it numerous times, I 100% believe in aliens. I believe they've already been here, and our universe is just, it's way too big for us to be. I mean, it's been proven that we are not the only beings. There have been microorganisms found on other planets. So if there's microorganisms, there's gonna be something else somewhere. I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, I love you guys. Bye.